The focus of this video is on the detailed cost claim form when submitting a progress or final claim. The form is used to submit a payment request for eligible costs incurred as detailed in the statement of work of your contribution agreement with the COA. Unless specified in your contribution agreement, you may claim eligible costs that have been incurred even though you have not yet been invoiced by the supplier, paid the suppliers, and/or employees. Normally, a claim should represent at least 10% of the total eligible costs. Note, however, the maximum amount that a COA will pay in respect of costs incurred but not yet paid by you is 50% of the approved contribution. To complete this form, first indicate the payment number. The system auto-populates the recipient name and project number. In order to enter claim costs, you may choose to use a CSV file, which allows you to import your detailed cost claims in just a few easy steps. A separate video is available under the help link to assist you with this practical tool. If you do not choose to complete this form using a CSV file, proceed to fill out the columns of your claim as per your invoices of the costs incurred. In the first column, enter the category per the eligible cost according to the eligible project costs listed in the statement of work. When submitting more than one cost per category, the costs should be grouped together. For example, all costs relating to equipment should be listed first, then all costs for consultants, etc. Next, enter the description of the eligible cost incurred, the name of the supplier or the employee of the cost incurred, the invoice or supporting document number, as well as the invoice date. You can either type in the date based on the format displayed, or you can click on the calendar button and select a date. Enter the invoice amount, including the HST/GST. Please note the total cost should include the HST/GST, provincial sales tax, foreign tax, freight, and delivery costs. This amount also represents 100% of your costs incurred, not the amount calculating in the rate of assistance as outlined in your statement of work. This percentage amount will be applied when the payment request is processed at a COA. Then proceed to enter the amount of HST/GST only as it appears on your invoice. If you have many items per category to enter, you can also use a spreadsheet to provide the information as listed in this form. In the description and supplier field, indicate various or see attached. Provide the date of the first invoice, as well as the total of all invoices and HST for each category. Therefore, your cost items would be entered here, grouped by category, thus requiring only a number of lines entered based on the category of the cost submitted for this claim. If you need to add an additional row, you click on the arrow and click on Insert Row Before or Insert Row After, or click on Add Another Row. If you need multiple rows, you can just click on the Add 5 lines or Add 10 lines, and if you do not complete all the added lines, you need to delete the additional lines or lines by clicking on the arrow next to each line and by choosing Remove this row. If you do not delete the lines, you will get a warning error upon saving your form. If you have entered the total costs by categories, it is very important that a list, example a spreadsheet, outlining each detailed cost claim invoice be included by uploading the document to this package using the Upload Document feature before submitting to a COA. However, do not submit supporting documents such as purchase orders, invoices, and receipts. They must be retained and readily available for examination in the event of an audit. If you have returned any supplies for costs previously claimed, or if you have received any reimbursements, credits, rebates, volume discounts, etc., which have resulted in a reduction of the cost previously claimed, you must include this adjustment in the detailed cost claim form as a negative amount. This form may also be used to correct any mistakes made on a previous claim. After listing your detailed cost items, the system will display the total HST/GST amount based on the amounts you entered in the Amount HST/GST column. In this field, provide the refundable HST/GST rate applicable to the cost claimed and as entered in the identification and certification form. Note that ACOA will not reimburse the HST/GST you are eligible to receive as an input tax credit from the Canada Revenue Agency. The system will then calculate the refundable HST/GST amount you are eligible to receive from Revenue Canada. This amount is then reduced from the total invoice amount, resulting in the amount that can be claimed to ACOA. When completing a future claim for this project, the total amount claimed must be added to all previous amounts you enter in the Claimed to Agency field for question number 1 in the identification and certification form of the claim package. To give you an example of what your detailed costs section should look like, here is an example of a statement of work with these categories. This is how the costs are grouped in this form. And this is your supporting document with details on each invoice. It is recommended that you go to the Help link for additional videos on the claims process, as well as help files and videos on all sections of ACOA Direct. This concludes our session on the detailed cost claim form for a progress or final claim package. Thank you for taking time to listen to this video. We trust it has been useful in addressing any questions you may have.